Well, I've just been busy recording the greatest footage I've ever recorded of dancing Lama Su.
May I present Lama Su, Prime Minister of Camino?
Apparently if you hold the attack button with him, he can't attack, so he just dances. And obviously, you haven't got audio, but you got a picture Cantina band in the background.
Yeah, I mean, all I can see is Lama Su, and, like, I know it's Lama Su, but, like, it's like a tiny Lego minifig of you. Oh, good God, another vehicle level. Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Chapter 3, Falcon Flight. Another fucking vehicle level.
I'm not sure if it's a vehicle level, but that title sounds very vehicle
level. Led by
level.
the evil Darth Vader, Imperial forces have overrun the rebel base on the ice planet of Hoth. Having bravely stalled the enemy advance, Luke Skywalker has made his escape by X-Wing fighter. And as the rebel transports lift from the planet, Han Solo and the Millennium Falcon engages the Imperial ships above. Dun, 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 dun.
Was that your was that like your dramatic
that was
American
more like an American talk show DJ, like radio disc jockey sort of voice, yeah.
I might have to try a Scottish accent.
I beg of you not to do that.
Oh, now I have to, you realise. Now you've made it a challenge.
You'll offend my people and I'll be forced to give you Yaldi!
Oh, did you see? Let's.
Oh, no!
And you don't even get the Falcon, you just get a shitey little X-Wing. Speaking of Yaldi, did you see the showdown that's been going on at the moment, the social media showdown between Aldi and
Brewdog, yes.
Yeah. That Brewdog released a beer. So Brewdog have a beer for the American viewers. Have a beer called Punk IPA that works on being like anti-establishment and we hate the man and all that kind of stuff. Aldi is a supermarket who do a lot of like knockoffs of big brands. Like they have their and I always love the Aldi brands for like how close they are somehow able to shoot to recognize brands without being sued. Like they have their butter is legitimately called like it definitely isn't butter and stuff like that.
I love Aldi marketing.
And they released a beer which is the same strength and apparently flavour as Punk IPA called Anti-Establishment IPA, which is wonderful. And Brewdog responded not with lawyers but with revealing their own beer called Yaldi IPA, which for those who are not familiar with Central Belt, not terminology, what's the word? Slang. How would you summarise Yaldi?
Yaldi is like
it's like yes,
an
lads.
expression of great joy, translated roughly as "I ready."
yeah, I think that's probably the best way of putting it up. It's like do you ever realise you have words that you can only define by example?
Yes. Like, so often.
I could use Yaldi in many sentences, but to actually give a formal definition of it, a bit harder.
The best use of the word I've seen was like in a pub in Motherwell, where like a man rose from his seat, like having entered into an altercation with another gentleman, and punched him square in the face and shouted the word "Yaldi" at high volume. It's probably the best usage of the word I have observed.
I miss Scotland. Shit like that.
I missed Scotland, given that we've been locked down for some time now, and our lockdown is still very much ongoing in a way that it isn't.
Yeah. Are you included in the extension of lockdown that hit some of the areas?
No. So Aberdeen is affected. Aberdeen is like at least an hour and a half north of Dundee, so I'm fine.
You realise I have no firm grasp of the geography of Scotland north of the Central Belt, other than it always takes me a surprisingly long time after I've left Perth to get to you.
Yeah, I mean, my Scottish geography is not great, but I'm not included in the Aberdeen local lockdown. So.
Yeah, I think arguably, Dundee might be almost the furthest north I've ever been.
Really? You've never been to the Highlands?
Oh no, I've been to Fort William and
Fort William is
that
a little further. It's a little further north than Dundee, but not as far north as you'd expect.
Basically, North Skye would be the only thing that would compete with Dundee.
Skye is definitely much further north than Dundee is.
Yeah, I was talking about this the other day with people on Twitter when you have to define the widest geographical area you've been. So you say, what's the furthest north, south, east, and west you've been? So let's try it. What's the furthest north you've been?
North I've been?
In any country, this is in the world.
I was on the north coast of Iceland, which is technically in the Arctic Circle.
That's pretty fucking good, actually. Yeah.
All right, you go.
Certainly beats. Well, that certainly beats Portree on Sky.
There's a wonderful like Scottish folk song called "The Portree Kid," which is like a song in the style of like an American Western ballad, but set in Scotland, and it stars a character called, instead of like the Mako Kid or like, you know, the two gun kid, he's the Portree Kid. Portree being the capital of the Isle of Skye, population 3 men and 1 dog.
I was going to say, does it have a capital in that sense?
It's absolutely fantastic, and like
Right, what about south? What about south then? Further south I've been is Luxor in Egypt.
That is fairly far south. I don't know if I can top that. I think I've been in Florida on a family holiday. That's basically on the equator.
That's further south than Egypt, yeah. Because I'm always surprised by how close like the southern US actually is in parts of the equator. That's pretty good. East. That's probably also Florida.
Florida would be to the west of the UK, Doctor.
Oh yeah, no, yep, it would.
It's a good thing that you're a doctor of biology and not of maps.
I can't explain why, but I really struggle with east and west in a way I don't with north and south, or even left and right. If you were to say left, I can say, yeah, Florida's well to the left of England, but I really struggle with east and west. Fuck knows why.
I can struggle as well, to be honest. But
yeah,
west, east then. I guess Hungary? That's pretty far. Like into east. No, Poland. I've been to Poland, so Eastern Europe, I guess, is as far east as I've done.
I think Hungary might be further east than Poland. I'm not actually sure. I think I have you beaten on that one with Cyprus.
You're actually making me a little sad that we're having this conversation, because naming all these places, that it will be some time before we can safely visit, given the global pandemic. But yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, yeah.
Let's move on to a happier topic. Can I return to like my brief discussion of the great Scottish folk song, "The Portree Kid"?
You can.
So, like,
yes.
my favorite thing about the song is that like Portree has.
Oh, sorry to interrupt briefly, but I think we get a chance to go inside the anus slug quickly here.
Oh, I get way too
I think we actually have to. Hey, down we go. Into this perfectly normal cave, which there's nothing weird about.
Definitely don't look like
anyway,
continue. Oh, look at that, and it closes behind us. The anus has prolapse.
Like a normal cave does, yes. Oh, Jesus Christ. Right, let's gather some bombs, then we'll head back outside, because we're going to need the bombs. But yes,
do we not get to play through the bizarre sequence where like the weird leech things attach themselves to the Vulcan?
Oh yeah, like the weird, not vampire, but like bat leechy things.
Yeah, they're creepy, really creepy.
Yeah. Oh, we don't actually see the anus slug. Oh, boo.
No, I mean, it must chase us. We must get the cool cutscene where the Falcon just flies out of its mouth. We must do.
Oh, but surely that looks shit in Lego as well.
It's an iconic scene. I mean, like most of the scenes in this movie are iconic, but like I've always enjoyed that one.
The thing just looks. It's a dude's hand wearing like a latex sock. There's no way around that. And just
yeah, it's of all the great puppetry that was done in the Star Wars.
Well,
films,
of all the puppetry in the Star Wars universe, yeah. Let's not go throwing words like great around.
I think the puppetry is great. I mean, like,
no, you do.
You cannot tell me you prefer CGI Yoda to puppet Yoda. What kind of heathen are you?
I'm not going to answer that.
Go on.
Can you imagine a puppet having that sweet fight? Can you imagine a puppet having that sweet fight with Count Dooku?
I can barely imagine the CGI Yoda having that sweet fight with Count Dooku. It is not a sweet fight. It's awful,
and it's exactly the kind of acting you expect from someone of the caliber of Christopher Lee.
Yeah, Christopher Lee, classically trained British actor, Hammer horror legend, fighting like a CGI space goblin. That's why we're here.
It'll have been like a Yoda head on a stick with like a glow stick attached to it as well, for like the CG placeholder.
It's not great. It's just not great at all.
Speaking of not great, this level is weak so far.
It's trash.
This has been incredibly repetitive. Find some pink things and hit other pink things.
I'm at least helping with this one. Like, it's better laid out such that I can at least see what my objective is and I can work towards it, which I've not
the fact that we've both been able to,
we've
been able to play it fine whilst paying minimal attention, quite frankly, because I've only really now, other than that brief bit with the anus, really been aware of what we've been doing.
Other than again, like that's why I tell all my sexual partners, other than the brief bit with the anus, I haven't really been paying attention to what we've been doing.
That was good. Well played. Come on, give us some bombs. There's a bomb.
let's just discuss briefly this game for a second. We've had very little commentary on this actual game, but I'm sorry to break it to your viewership, but these games are terrible. They are awful.
They're not great.
Awful games.
I mean, I picked them because they're games that you literally can't. Well, firstly, they support remote play together. B, they're entertaining, and also you can't get them wrong. Like, we're not going to get stuck on them because that's almost impossible. So they're a good one for your introduction to.
I have sort of some affection for them because I played with my siblings. We all played the prequel trilogy games, Lego games together. So I've got some nostalgia for them, but these are objectively despicably awful games.
As we discussed, with Star Wars, it's a particularly pertinent conversation, and nostalgia unfortunately doesn't make things good.
No, it does not.
Nothing is worse than coming back to play something and be like, oh no, wait, this is shit. I never knew. I used to love this.
But there are plenty of games that you revisit from your childhood that you're like, actually, this is every bit as good as I remember, and in spite of the time in which it was made, it's even better than you remember, really.
Absolutely.
Case in point, the one that I returned to not too long ago, a couple of years ago now, that I just replayed on my PS2, my original PS2, that still works incredibly because the PS2 is
that's resilient is what that is.
The PS2 is much like the Star Wars franchise itself in that it just will not die. But yeah, I replayed Prince of Persia: Warrior Within, and it's tremendous. It's so good.
That may be coming soon to this channel, courtesy of the Sprite. If she decides she's never going to do it, she can cut this out because she edits this. But she said she wants to do it as a Let's Play. So,
for a bit of context, the Sprite and I were friends for many years before your involvement with the Sprite, and the idea that she has ultimate censoring and editing power over what I am currently saying fills me with a deep and abiding fear.
Yeah. No, I've heard good things about the Prince of Persia games. They were all the Sprite could go. They were the constant comparison point because she observed for the first time me playing through an Assassin's Creed game, and she was like, "This is basically just a take on Prince of Persia, really." And I can see that, yeah.
People think, especially Warrior Within is one that everyone holds up as this is one of the best games of its generation, if not of all time. And honestly, it is a tremendous game. Even after all these years, it's still
the only one I played
well.
is the first one, and the first one wasn't great.
So when you say the first one, there's a 2D Prince of Persia game.
No, the first 3D one, yeah, no, not the 2D one. The first 3D one, it's all right, but it feels old and clunky. Whereas I've heard that, you're not the first person to tell me Warrior Within is aged.
See, I prefer Warrior Within, but I revisited both, and I very much enjoyed the first 3D Prince of Persia game as well. I've got nostalgia goggles. I played it as a kid and enjoyed it, but even as an adult, it was just good
for
fun.
me. It felt like a slightly clunky, blocky Assassin's Creed. It wasn't bad.
I'm afraid I have nothing or very little but contempt for the Assassin's Creed games. I'm just, I'm so over
a lot of them are really
unbelievably over it.
I like the stories and the historical setting. I like Black Flag because you just go around being a pirate and it's fucking great fun. It's dumb, stupid fun. I love it. Their stories are shit. The gameplay is incredibly average.
The problem with Black Flag is the bullshit Assassin's Creed space god alien nonsense keeps getting in the way of the piracy, and I signed in for the piracy. Enough of this Templars versus Assassins bullshit. I want to pillage the high seas. Yar!
Well, that's what Sea of Thieves is for, yeah. That's
Did
a
you
great
remember the game Sid Meier's Pirates, which is one of my all-time favourites? It's a tremendous game.
We should probably at least move on to the next
level. If it's another vehicle level, I might actually just drop out and concentrate on the drinking. At least I can enjoy that.
Stick with what you're good at, yeah.
I'm an exceptional drinker. I take pride in it.
That is true. Right, okay, let's go for Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Chapter 4, Dagobah.
you were doing so well until you had to pronounce.
I was, but then it really got away with me there, and now it's gone into South African. Oh no, what's happening here? Han Solo and Princess Leia have finally evaded the Imperial fleet in Millennium Falcon and are on their way to Cloud City. What the fuck is going on here? Secretly followed by bounty hunter Boba Fett. Meanwhile, following instructions relayed to him by the spectral form of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker has piloted his X-Wing to the forgotten planet of Dagobah. Accompanied by his trusty droid R2-D2, Luke heads deep into the murky swamp world in search of his destiny. That went fucking everywhere except for New Zealand.
You were oscillating wildly between Australian, Cockney, there was a bit of Cockney in there, South African, everywhere but the great nation of Australia. Or sorry, New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah, that was many things, but it was not Temuera Morrison.
No. I mean, good try. It was a valiant effort to begin
It started off not bad. My first 3 words were great, but then it it went downhill fast.
Yeah, we're very sorry, viewership. There's been many opening crawls in these levels, and we're running out of Star Wars voices that we can actually do.
And yet, I was so pleased with myself because I suddenly came up with one. I was like, "Oh, there's a character who's got a really fucking distinct accent. Can I do it? Fuck no!" But I tried.
I'm gonna have to play as R2, aren't I?
We'll swap, I think, because you've had a couple of levels where you've had to play as R2.
No, I mean, I think it's funny that I get to play as R2. It's perfectly alright.
Okay, well, let it not be said I didn't offer. That'd be a good test of your microphone. You always judge a microphone by how well it picks up whistling.
It worked well last time, actually, because one of the earlier videos we did with the opening crawl,
you did start with R2 noises, yeah. I think that was episode 4 as late as in Star Wars episode 4. It may have been.
Okay.
They've all kind of blended together. Now, I remember this level being really long and grueling, so let's see.
Oh, goody. I've, just for the benefit of your viewership, we spoke about this off camera, but I have not ever played these levels. So I've only really played the prequel LEGO games. So this is all new and exciting to me.
I'm the opposite. So I bought, you can hover over here. I think you might even just be able to walk through the water because you've got your little periscope. Yeah, there's a slope over to the left you can get up.
Oh, look, well, wouldn't you credit that?
But yeah, no, so the first I played of these was the original Trilogy game. And then I've never, technically speaking, played the, to use a confusing phrase, original prequel game. I've only ever played the prequels as part of this one, the Complete Trilogy. Apparently... Oh, you need to go over and do that, yeah.
I've got a funny, hang on. Dive!
Hey, very good. They are doing another LEGO Star Wars game. They're doing the Skywalker Saga, which is it is the entire Skywalker Saga, and they have redone it all from scratch, so it's not just these 6 games again. It's all of it from the top.
How do I ascend?
You need to get up to me and hover over to that, I think.
Oh, I see.
Remember, you've got your wee jets. I don't know if R2 actually had those jets in the prequel trilogy, in the original trilogy, but
he definitely did not. But
no.
Excellent. Look, I'm helping.
Dude, it was one of the more ridiculous things that was that's in the Clone Wars animated series. Is apparently R2 can support a person while he's flying on his jets.
So he's a jetpack, basically.
Yeah, and seeing fucking Chancellor Palpatine riding around on the back of R2 is a strange experience. While there's a fucking Godzilla creature in the background trying to eat them.
I need to get watching the Clone Wars series because I have now finished Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, you have. It'll be a good point for the viewer because when we started this series, I have just started watching Avatar and now you've essentially finished it. So
yeah, I don't think there were many comments about Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I enjoyed it. I very much enjoyed it. I would rank it second of all the animated shows I've ever seen. I would rank it second, behind only the masterful Batman the Animated Series, which is the greatest animated.
To that.
I'm going to try.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, but
I was in full flow there. But yeah, I do consider Batman.
The trick is being in full flow whilst also maintaining gameplay.
Oh, I can't do that. What do you take me for? Some kind of maniac?
Yeah, talking, gameplay, and drinking. Pick 2.
Yeah. In any case, I consider Batman the Animated Series to be probably the best animated show ever built, ever conceived. It's just tremendous.
Yeah, I need to give it another crack.
Yeah, anyone who says otherwise is a coward or a liar, as far as I'm concerned.
I remember enjoying it episode to episode, but I think I struggled to get into it because it doesn't have any overarching meta episode plot. Each episode is completely self-contained because that's what kids' cartoons were in the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, some of it's masterful storytelling that they can get a complete arc, or they can get their point across just in the 15 or 20-minute episodes.
That's always impressive when you can do that, especially within the confines of a kids' show. And definitely, I like the fact that it fleshes out some of the villains that you see less of in the main media. So you get Clayface. The 2-parter with Clayface was fantastic and stuff like that.
It's horrifying. It's very disturbing, the 2-parter with Clayface.
Yes, yeah, and it does that thing of it's
terrified me as a kid.
It's that weird level of fucked up dark shit that you can apparently only do in a kids show, which Avatar in fairness also has its fair bit of. Hey, look at me! I've got a little lightsaber.
Hey, is this the first time Luke Skywalker has the lightsaber in this game?
Yeah, must be. Yeah, because he's been Hoth mode earlier. Though he technically has the lightsaber, he's just not been using it for some reason.
Yoda shouldn't have a lightsaber at this point in the continuity. But anyway, before we move on back to this game, lest we forget, there is a connection between the Star Wars universe and Batman the Animated Series, and that Mark Hamill is the voice of the Joker in the animated series. Mark Hamill, of course, portraying Luke Skywalker, because that's what he did. I'm lagging out majorly, by the way. I don't know what R2 is doing, but I have no control over him. He's got a mind of his own.
He's on me. Why is he on me? Can you...
Get it off! Get it off!
I think... Yeah, I can only I can't use the Force without Yoda on me. That's deeply uncomfortable. And what makes it more uncomfortable is, do you know how I get Yoda on my back? I press Y, which is my get into vehicle button. But yeah, I'm always surprised by how many people know... Obviously, most people, in terms of most people literally in the world, will know Mark Hamill from Luke Skywalker. But I think to certain types of people, he's way more famous as a voice actor, in which he plays a dazzling array of villains.
He's a brilliant voice actor. Like, Mark Hamill is the voice of the Joker, as far as I'm concerned. Like, he might be my favourite Joker, in much the same way as Kevin Conroy, the man who plays Batman in the animated series, might be my favourite Batman. So, and I don't say either of those two things.
I can see that. Yeah. Oh, bloody hell, he's fucked up over there again. Oh, we need to bash more plants in to be able to build this. Oh, now I need Yoda back, fuck's sake. Yeah, no, I was playing recently. Okay, recently, it was like 2 years ago on YouTube. Have you ever played the Darksiders games?
No, this is the kind of weird sort of God of War, but not really game.
Yeah, basically God of War meets like Zelda, but for adults. It's like that kind of thing it's gone for, because it's very much Zelda-like gameplay, but
it's a very niche audience they were shooting for there.
Yeah, niche as in Zelda being one of the most successful video game franchises of all time. Yeah, real niche.
No, but like there cannot be much overlap between the people who play Zelda and the people who are like, yes, what I really want is this, but with God of War.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, it plays like it plays like your kind of Devil May Cry, like those kind of games as well, like the combat and stuff in it is. But Mark Hamill is like your. So basically, the game starts with you like you've been sentenced for a crime you didn't commit, and to clear your name, you go out and you have this creepy character that's sent by the Dark Council to watch over you called the Watcher, and he's voiced by Mark Hamill doing classic Mark Hamill creepy voice, and it's so good. And it's just like, for a moment where like there's one of my favourite scenes in that is you get like trapped in like a Colosseum and like forced to fight, and then you like defeat the champion of the Colosseum and like fuck him up, and the rest of them all like turn on you, and then Mark Hamill's character just like looks at the crowd and goes, "Are you not entertained?" It's so good.
You can just tell, like, he decided after being like Luke Skywalker, he was just gonna have some fun. Like, but there's a very excellent interview with him. So he appears on Kevin Smith's podcast. Which I recommend Kevin Smith's podcast in general. But there's a very good.
Who's Kevin Smith?
You don't know who Kevin Smith is?
Nope. I mean, if I did, I wouldn't have asked the question, would I? Come on. Get with the program.
I was going to say prolific, but he's like a relatively famous kind of like indie film director. So he did Clerks, both Clerks movies. He did Red State.
I've never heard of those films.
Dogma. These are like...
I've seen Dogma. Dogma was surprisingly good.
He directed, I think, a few episodes of one of the CW shows, or maybe it was Marvel's Daredevil. I'm not sure, but he also wrote a bunch of comic books for Marvel during the Marvel Knights period. He's one of my favourite just creators. I like him, and he does very good podcasts. But during one of his podcasts, he does like a 3-hour interview with Mark Hamill, just talking to him about his career and his family and like the things that he's done. They talk very little Star Wars, but apparently Mark Hamill, before he was cast as Luke Skywalker, was already doing voice acting work, and that's how he got started.
Huh.
So it's not like he was like a serious actor who got his Luke Skywalker role and then thought, fuck it, let's do some voice acting. Like, he was always doing voice acting.
Yeah. Oh, I've just figured out what we need to do here. Get on this red one here.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, I think you see how this is going. Oh, no, I'm dead, sorry. Fucking fuck off. Bat bullshit. So you talking about Batman, you've learned them
here.
There's
so many thematic. We didn't, honestly, viewership, we don't rehearse this. These things just come to us.
We didn't choose to be this talented. It just happened.
Like, nothing seems. Oh, there we go. This is gonna.
Wait, there we go. Look at that.
Require, like, fine motor control.
There you go.
That I may never have possessed.
Yeah, right. Hover over that one and then wait on that one for that to rise. Oh no! Terrible timing.
So I think I had it. Okay, we can do this. If I focus up, I can do this. I'm also going to have a whiskey.
I feel like that's antithetical to focusing up. I'll level with
the whiskey's not going to help. If only I had a mind-sharpening glass of Cointreau.
fantastic. I was setting you up for that, and I really hoped you'd get it, and you did. You did not disappoint. I knew I hired you for a reason.
Not one glass of Cointreau apiece, we would have completed this entire game days ago.
Sprite, who is editing this, I'll send you a Photoshop Star Wars image of a character holding a bottle of Cointreau. Please insert it now.
Uh-oh.
Luke's learned to use the Force by himself without Yoda on his back.
Does that mean I can... Oh,
which means,
excellent.
Yeah, Yoda's free to be possessed now. You can stop being arty.
It makes no sense, though, given that, like, he shouldn't have his lightsaber, because he...
Hey, look, a tractor. Why shouldn't he have a lightsaber? Oh, because he lost it in the fight with Sidious.
He lost it against Palpatine, yeah. Oh, you're running me over with the tractor. That's... yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely...
Do you not remember that scene from Luke's Jedi training? Where Luke uses the Force to build a tractor that starts...
Young Skywalker, not ready to face Vader you are. Still mastering the arts of tractor, are you?
You need to have the lightsaber out.
Only a fully trained farmer can face Vader.
I may have parked a tractor in the way here.
Yeah, you made that more difficult than it had to be. Thanks for that.
Oh.
I think we need R2 up here, which we can't do because you've parked a tractor in the way, you stupid.
If only someone hadn't parked a tractor there.
Oh no.
We could have seen this coming. I don't know, respawn me in the fucking tractor.
Oh no, this has gone terrible.
Oh, for God's sake. We've done the devil's work here, is what we've done.
Things are now in motion, which cannot be undone.
I can also just fuck off around here as R2.
Please.
And yet, it doesn't help.
Uh-oh.
Interesting.
Uh-oh.
Or does it?
We might have... This is it. This is the end, really, isn't it?
we've... Oh no, we're fine. We're good.
I think the moment at which you truly kneecapped us in terms of gameplay was when you uttered the words, "These games are idiot-proof. It's not like we're going to fail." And then we did fail.
Yes. What's the phrase? If you strive to make something idiot-proof, nature will design a better idiot. It's that.
I'm sure that's from Darwin.
Yeah, essentially. It's got that feel, certainly.
It's definitely not from Darwin.
Oh, now we have this bullshit scene that you weirdly love and I hate.
I like the scene. It's Luke literally facing a metaphorical representation of his fears. Or alternatively, there's a really good fan theory that what he actually faces is like a Force echo. So there was a fan theory, and I think it's a valid one, that the reason that Sidious and Vader never consider Yoda a threat. So when they talk about Luke's training, they always talk about Kenobi and how Kenobi's training him and how this is bad and how they've got to kill Kenobi. They never talk about Yoda, even though Sidious ought to know that Yoda is still alive. And the reason... I
was going to say that the only argument against this is that they can... Oh, this is going to be a bad time for you, I think. They know that Obi-Wan is alive, but they can't be sure that Yoda is alive.
Perhaps, but anyway, the fan theory goes the reason that they never consider Yoda a threat is because Vader has actually been to Dagobah at some unspecified time in the past and dueled Yoda in his old age and killed him. And the proof of this is that when Luke encounters the kind of pseudo-Vader in the swamps of Dagobah, that is like a Force echo of Vader's duel with Yoda. So goes the fan theory. And I like it, even if it's not true. I don't need this to be canon. I don't really give a shit about that. But like, it's an interesting fan theory, and I think that the film has sufficient complexity to lend itself to the theory, which I like.
Yes, I mean, if it's true, you're certainly giving George Lucas, in my opinion, too much credit.
Did Lucas?
I think.
What was Lucas's involvement in Empire though? Was it not one of the ones that he?
I don't know. I think I've always stuck with the theory that the further George Lucas is from Star Wars, the happier everyone is in a lot of ways. Right, if you put your lightsaber away, this might be easier. You can walk very slowly.
My connection isn't great, honestly. Like the frame rate has gone to shit for me. But like, yes, I thought I could jump, but it turns out that was. Oh, there we go. This is just going to take 1,000 years, but I will make it.
When 900 years old you are, not so fast will you be. Or whatever the line is, something like that.
Narrow bridges, my old foe.
I mean, in fairness, narrow bridges are the foe of fucking everyone in the Star Wars universe, let's be honest.
There's an alarming...
Narrow bridges over surprisingly steep drops.
Yeah, it's one of the things that strikes me about Lord of the Rings as well. So, like, we go back and watch the scenes in Rivendell in Lord of the Rings, right? And there's not a single goddamn handrail. Like, health and safety clearly just isn't a thing if you're an elf, but, like, Jesus.
Yeah, elves are immortal, you know?
They're not completely...
Okay, yes, I'm aware that immortality doesn't work like that, but... Oh no, shit. How the fuck do we get him up here? That's not possible.
No.
Okay, oh no.
We must need...
Oh, I've seen...
Yeah, this must be...
I've seen what we have to do. Let's see how your internet
Oh,
is.
great! I can't wait to make this jump.
That was pretty good.
Nailed it!
Now do 3 more like it.
Ah,
You can celebrate when you're done.
okay. If I make this jump, you got to finish your drink. Oh!
Motherfucker, I've got a whole pint. Right, give me a second.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Oh, it's so cold and fizzy. Oh my god. Oh. Why you do this?
That's horrifying. I'm also led to believe that you are in fact drinking Tennants, aren't you?
I am, yes. Based on the 4 empty cans of...
Yaldi, welcome to Scotland! Regrettably, not that you're in Scotland, but...
No, but I'd never seen it in an English supermarket before. My local Morrison's has started stocking it, and so, like the hoardy bastard I am, I of course bought several crates. Because you never know. Please break in case of Scottish emergency. Oh, we need to fight Vader.
We have to duel Vader.
Yep. Which is
or
far more
not
than
Vader, or Force Echo Vader, or just evil...
yeah, look there, off he fucks. Oh, now he's going to throw shit at us, because that's how these work. Oh no, we need to get each other up off these, yeah.
We need to get each other off.
I remember the last time we talked about these, we used some phrase like that. Oh, no, that's the wrong button, that's what that is. It's D to do the Force, so you know.
No, it's not Naya I use, young Skywalker. You will be.
There we go. Oh, you went up much faster. Hey.
Hey! That's what all my lovers tell me.
That was pretty quick. Pa! Yeah. And he says, continue with the joke. Oh, do we need to get up to him again? Holy fuck.
These are just not good games.
There's
a lot of it that's just kind of tedious.
Yeah. I feel like they would have been better to put their efforts into just making a full Lego Star Wars film and just...
Yeah, I would watch that. I would definitely watch that. I mean, look how good Lego Batman is.
Yeah, I mean, all of the Lego films are pretty decent. I've still not seen the second Lego movie.
Oh, have you not? Have I seen that movie? I'm pretty certain I've seen that movie. It's good. It's not as good as the first one, but like it doesn't have that...
I was stunned by the first one, because I went into the first one being like, this is going to be a fun, slightly like piss-takey film. It's like, no, this is a dark film about fascism, basically, and like authoritarianism. It was really good. Way better than I was expecting.
It's a very, very clever film. And also a children's film, proving that you can in fact make a movie about anything, which is also for children, and it will be a legitimately good film if you get talented people to be involved.
Yeah, I remember... I can't remember who it was. I think it was John DiMaggio. Is he called John DiMaggio? The guy who voices Bender, amongst others. A pretty prolific voice actor, but that's what he's most famous for, who basically said a lot of people, like a lot of animators were, in the early days, were concerned about like making like animation like right for children. They basically just said, if you make it an animation, children will watch it. Doesn't matter what the fuck it's about. If it's a cartoon or if it's an animation, children will watch it. The trick is then making adults still be interested in it is where the kind of real art lies in like animation. I thought it was a really interesting viewpoint on it.
I think it's a very astute analysis from John DiMaggio.
Or was it like an actual writer who's doing it? I don't know. But it was someone who was well involved in like animation and stuff like that. I'm glad to see that my memory of this level as being really long still sticks.
Yeah, this level is just a bit of a trudge, really.
Generally speaking, like the original trilogy games have been much longer. The levels generally, because I've usually, and I'm still sticking with doing two levels an episode, but this is making like 30+ minute episodes rather than like the 20 or 15-minute episodes we got in the original one. In the prequel trilogy, so.
Having had a look at them on the YouTube channel, you know, when I was setting up like my dozens of copy accounts to make sure
Yes, so I've heard. Did you see the fucking comments on the latest one? Jesus Christ.
It was tremendous. Viewership, you are spectacular. Please,
the amount of people commenting like, oh yeah, by the way, this is a barred copy account. It's like, God damn it, I know you're not. You've been commenting on this shit for years. Fuck. You've ingratiated yourself alarmingly fast.
I know. I'm very grateful viewership, like, because I mean, obviously, so at least some of you are watching this. Like, I've been accepted. People like me. Look at me now, Dad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But what were you gonna say? There was a point in there somewhere before I derailed you.
I can't remember what the point was.
Something about the length of the episodes.
Oh yeah, so most of these games play much better, and the episodes are longer. It seems to be that we're getting as many, if not more, views from the original trilogy, even though the episodes are longer.
I mean, sometimes longer episodes are good. Like, I go for 20 minutes because that's a normal TV program length for me, and that's what used to be optimal for YouTube. Now it no longer is. YouTube basically prioritizes videos that are 10 minutes or less, which I'm not going to do because that's ridiculous. So, in some ways, a longer one is better because people will kind of actually watch it more.
Yeah.
And it's at this point, people, I'm pretty sure, are committed at this point. Hey, let's do the thing where we raise the X-Wing.
No, I do not. There is no try.
Oh, that
was horrifying.
Well, you made me neck an entire pint of Tennants, you fanny.
I mean, I didn't actually expect you to do it.
You said it. What do you think I'm going to do? Back out? Can you give me a hand with this, Yoda? We need to reenact the scene from the film, and this is Luke failing to raise it, so...
Because I need to shuffle over here and now try to attempt to raise the X-Wing. Thusly. I think we both need to do it.
I'm doing fuck all. That was all you. It has to be. I think it literally has to be. Luke tries it, fucks up, and fails, and then Yoda does it successfully.
I've always liked the raising the X-Wing fighter. It's like I don't believe it.
That is
why you fail. It's a good line.
Other than Force Lightning, which there's not enough specifics on how it works, Yoda raising that there is the single biggest expenditure of Force energy that we see in the original trilogy.
Yeah, it is actually. There's not a lot.
Because that was what a blog I've followed used that to calculate what Yoda's maximum Force output is. Based on how big that is, what the gravity is, and how quickly he's able to lift it.
Oh, that's cool.
The Emperor might have more power. It really depends on how Force Lightning works. Like, if Force Lightning is a Tesla coil, the Emperor's quite powerful. If Force Lightning is an arc welder, the Emperor is insanely powerful. Yoda ranks at roughly 1 to 2 wind turbines for his Force output.
That's awesome.
Or to put it one way, enough to power a small European car, like a Fiat 500 kind of thing. With a wee Yoda sitting in the engine compartment.
Or, possibly your car, which, as we've discussed, is a mighty vehicle possessed of great robustness.
By the time this goes up, my car will be gone and I'll have a new car from 2007.
Did it finally die? Did the Corsa finally
no,
go
it should have got off.
Basically, going to die?
Nah, I needed a new car. But more importantly, a new car was being offered. That my mum was trying to get rid of my late grandfather's old car, and we're like, we'll have it. And they're like, cool. We don't even want any money for it. I just want it away. So we're like, cool. It's slightly more modern than ours and much cheaper to insure.
Outstanding. I look forward to visiting in it or being driven in it.
So I'm going to have a cherry red Honda Jazz next time you see me.
Anyway, shall we close this episode? As much as I'm sure that the viewership is enthralled by our conversation about your car.
Well, it started some interesting thing last time. There started some conversation about people's old cars, and one of the things I always notice with such conversations is, because I assume of our climate, British cars just don't last very long. You get people in so the viewer who commented was, I know she's Australian, and she was saying yeah, my first car was from 1986, and I only sold it a couple of years ago. It's that works in Australia,
that's crazy.
But
crazy.
Here it's pretty rare to see a car from even the 90s nowadays, just because shit will have rusted and fallen apart by now. The only reason my car is still kicking is because for the first 14 years of its life, it was under a tarp in a garage continuously and was not used.
I have great affection for that little car. I'll be sorry when you're no longer driving it.
It's going to someone you know.
Oh, you can tell me about that later.
Almost certainly. So it'll still be alive. So anyway, yes, thank you everyone for watching this episode. It's been a long one because we've done a long level and a lot of discussion in between episodes. So hope you enjoyed it and hope you'll join us next time for the conclusion of Empire Strikes Back, which has been underwhelming so far in Lego form. So let's see if it gets better. Thank you very much and goodbye.